those magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up to the up, up, they go down to the up, down.
Okay, hello everybody, yay, jelly. Right, let's see, we'll get rid of a few things. Right, as you can see, right, this is obviously the top of the fuse yet again. So we've come to the stage where I've decided, right, it's all fitted lovely now. Okay, obviously I've drilled a hole at the back, that's to attach it to the fuse there, so that you can see, you know, because you have to do that. Alright, let's give it that. Alright, so this is obviously this is a plastic moulding. Okay, so in order, the bit I've coloured, the reason I've done it like this is because this has got to have, like, on the real plane, if you're best looking at the picture I've shown you in previous videos, this is going to be all wood finish, okay, on the real plane. Okay, and being plastic, it doesn't sort of go well. So how to get around that, or how I get around it, I'm sure there's others out there have got a much better way, but this is the only way I know how, because I've never known anyone else to tell me or teach me, so I can only suggest the way I do it. But bear in mind, I'm holding this, I haven't got my camera lady, so bear with us. So what I've done is you get your picture, you look at it, and you mark out there with pencil whereabouts you need to draw the line, basically, to where the wood starts and finishes. Okay, and so we'll come to this bit in a minute. Right, so there you have it. So all I use for that is you brush it on. I mean, you want to roller it on, that's up to you, but you brush it on. The reason I say brush it on with a little brush is because with the brush marks, it'll look like the grain of the wood once you get to the second stage. So you need 2 coats of this, and what I use, so I'll get it in the camera, what I use is crown emulsion. It's ideal. This one, Egyptian sand, is what I found. Okay, Egyptian sand. I mean, the whole time of that, if you were just using it for models, would probably last you a lifetime. Okay, but obviously it just came in handy. That's the shade that I use. You can use cream, you know, not the white. I might add a cream to get the effect, because when you put the wood stain on, you've got to get it so it's near enough as like it's going to be like on when you stain the real wood, if that makes sense. Okay, so 2 coats is a must. Leave it to dry, preferably overnight if you can, if you've got the patience. Alright, and it's nice and bone dry. Once you've done that, I'll just get rid of this. Then what I use to get the right colour effect, I mean, I'm just using what I see here. This is Ron Steel, I don't think, antique pine. Quick dry and varnish, that will do lovely. Or quick dry and wood stain, doesn't really matter, because you're going to varnish it afterwards anyway. Okay, so I use, to get the colour effect to the look like the real plane, antique pine seems to work well. It looks new as damn it to the picture anyway. So you put a coat of that on, a couple of coats of that on, and I might add you're using this for all the woodwork on the plane. So you're using it for your cabane struts, your main wing struts, okay, and the sides of the fuse. That's wood. It's all the same colour, okay. But obviously, anything that's wood, you just put it directly on. Okay, so that takes care of that. So I like antique pine, whatever antique pine, but I find Ron Steel the best. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Quite easy. And then once it's all dry, okay, before you do any of this, once you've got it all wood stained and you've lined it up with your fuse, alright, once you put it all back on, then yacht varnish. I always use yacht varnish. People say, oh, well, I use yacht varnish purely because A, it's got a fantastic finish, and B, they go, yacht varnish. You get satin or gloss, but I use gloss. Right? It takes a long time to dry. 1 coat is enough, really, believe it or not, or you can put 2 on if you want. A, it's tough and durable. Plus, when you start coming to make things like the machine guns and that, and you have to keep fettling around with it or that, it doesn't crack or scratch, you know. So it's ideal for that. And you yacht varnish everything else that's on the wood as well, so everything looks the same shade and that. Okay, and that's basically that. So your yacht varnish, I'll take that out of the way. Let's put it over there. Okay, so that mainly is it for that. So that, you know, I'm just waiting for it to dry. So obviously you would stain the inside and everything, but I wouldn't yacht varnish in here. Okay, don't yacht varnish in a bit, because that's where you're going to stick your pilot. Okay, because you need him. Alright, or the plane won't fly. So that's that bit taken care of. The front bit, okay, I'll come to that now. Bear with us. Right, somebody's asked me, quite a few people have asked me now, about the colour. No, sopwith camels came in many colours, believe it or not, depending where they were shipped out to during the war. They were all over the shop. Everyone's saying it's olive green, drab. Right, well, the Shuttleworth collection version is brown. like all their bloody planes are, brown. Okay, so the nearest colour I found plus is, right, so you have a look at this Plasticoat, okay? This is about £3.50 a tin, which is a bargain, right? So Plasticoat, and use that, okay? It's neither satin, it's like a satin, don't get that glass of satin, I do, okay? And then spray, what I tend to do is I just get a cup. Right, I'll see if I can get it off of this one. A little trick I found was if you get the cup, spray so much into the cup, okay, and then brush it down the line if you've got a steady hand, okay, it's far back, because or if you want the other way around it is, because you've got a yacht varnish all this first, mask it up, okay, if you want, but I tend to just brush down it out of the way, so when it comes to spraying the rest, okay, or just paint it by hand, it doesn't really matter, because a lot of this is not going to be seen, okay. And bearing in mind, of course, when you come to spray the rest of the model and that, you won't have this on there because you won't need it because it comes away. So there you have it. So that's just, and so get rid of that. Okay. Right. So this is stuff for use for the wings as well. So when you're coming to spray the Oratex or Sodatex, if you've got lucky, if you've still got any out left, this is what you spray on the top covering. But I'll come to that another day. Okay. Okay, I use it in all my wings, and that's the result there. If you can see, that'll be the result. That's how it comes out, that brown there. Okay, that's what it'll look like. And the wood finish, I might add, if you can, this light's a bit crap, but if you can see the wood where the veins are on that one, that's how they'll come out. So they look like just like the real thing. Lovely. All right, that's the whole idea. So that's about it for this video, I think, because we're not really. I spent a good 3 hours looking. Right, you might wonder, there's cancer sticks, very good. People have asked me what these bits here, like, you know, bits of tubing. Well, here's the key, right? To make the machine guns, which will obviously be a different video because it does actually take a while to do these. To make the machine guns, this piece of tubing is electrical conduit, which you get from B&Q, okay? For £2.50 for a 5 foot length. Which I believe I've got here. There you go. Dun dun dun. Alright, so it's ideal. Okay, so that's for your machine guns, and they'll fit just nicely in between the gap there. See? Alright, that's why I have to have that. And I believe that's 15mm. Alright, 15mm tubing. And it happens to be black, which is quite handy. Alright, so that's basically about onset for your machine gun. Okay, and when I come and make it, I'll show you how this. This piece of tubing, alright, this is an old curtain rail. Okay, that when we moved in there, these hideous curtain rails. I think I might still have one up here. No, it's not there. Anyway, here it is. This is an old curtain rail, right? And I liked it because it was off cut brass, right? And that's all it is. A piece of old. You can get these curtain rails for about £5. Okay, so don't go out buying expensive tubing. And this is for the exhausts that go on the side. And this is 10mm tubing, which is just about the right size for the exhausts, you know, dummy exhausts. Okay, and that is why I keep this. And you just chop it down at the time once you get it in, and you'll see what I mean. So anything like that, you see, it's little bits like this in the modelling building world that makes life a lot cheaper. I might add, if you were to buy these guns, VKs do them, props are VK models. You can buy the machine guns. Airfix, I call them, like, because you have to, you know, they're like coming in an Airfix kit type. They're £28 each, and you need 2. So the way I see it is, if you want to be authentic, yeah, by all means, go and buy them. Otherwise, do what I do and make your own. They won't be nowhere near as good as the moulded kits. But then again, you know, it just depends how far, as I keep saying, you want to go with realism. And plus, I've sourced around the UK, and you know, they're hard as hell to get now. I think DB models might do them, but they don't do it for 1/6 scale. They only do it for 1/4 scale. And they're even more money for them. So, this is why I resort to making my own. In case people think I'm a cheapskate. Hee, jelly. Alright, so that's what these bits of tubing are sitting around for. You know, just to sort of like demonstrate when it comes to it. So now, that's that. Alright, we're on the tailplane now. We're on about the rudder and the fin. And as you can see now how it is. Okay, on the plan, it states on the instructions that these, as you can see, needs to be made up of these little strips. Glue 5 together and form the shape. Now, personally, I think that's an ingenious way, but I think it's an awful lot of work for a little, and it's quite hard. So what I've done, as I intended to do with the wingtips as well, is I don't know if you can see it with the camera, but there's a piece of sellotape that I've put round the mark of the edge in there. Okay, that's to protect the plan, because when you go over it with a pen or a pencil, it'll cut through the plan. So I don't want to damage the plan for future use. Then what you do is, once you've got that, I've got a piece of wood, like a piece of the same thickness bolster that's required, and you put the bolster right underneath, the right size obviously, just for argument's sake. Yeah, that's it there, yeah. And then you get what you get from any stationery shop. This is what we call blueprint paper. Fantastic stuff. You slide that underneath again, and you simply just draw around the line. And as you draw around, you'll see there on the blue, it comes up blue. And then you go over it with a pen. Now, so that's how you get the outline of that. I know it's not the done thing, because it's supposed to be done properly. Now, a lot of people will say, well, that's not very strong, blah de blah. Well, what I'm intending to do now is I'm going to now, I'll get it all pinned in, and I'll put the strengthening struts in, there and or everywhere else. And once I've done that, I'm going to put a piece around, because that'll hold it in position, the shape. Then I'm going to put a band, as you want to call it, like I do on beer barrels or wine barrels. I'm going to put a band around it, glue that on there, so it's nice. So that will give it its rigidity, strength, you know, once it's all formed. And that's basically that for the tail plane. There's not exactly a lot to it. I've checked on the, so there's the one, see there's the D. So you know, it'll be exactly as it is on the plan. So, that's the plan for that. So I've checked on the pictures and that, and it actually shows that it's that thin, the tail. So there is a massive difference between the camel and the actual pup. There really is. I mean, I didn't realise just how much difference there was in this planes, you know, because basically when you look at it, the fuse looks very similar. The whole thing looks very similar, apart from the dihedral or the bottom wing. But when you come to nitty gritty, there is a major difference. So it's quite nice to do something different. Okay. So, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I might add. I don't know. I did it on the other one, didn't I? Yeah. So it's okay. So that's that. That's a short video, but you know, needs must. So next thing we'll be doing. I mean, oh yeah, it's exactly the same as I showed in the previous video. Putting the inserts in. Imagine that's an insert. Yeah, you just stick them in like blah 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 blah. I mean, they do actually give you a little piece that looks like that, so I was quite chuffed with that. And there's the other little miniature piece that sits in there. You know, and you cut out the slots. And we have it, Bob's your uncle. Okay, so that's that, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay. Thanks for the comments as well, by the way. It's nice to see somebody actually is watching it. Okay, cheerio, bye.
Those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men in the